Hello students, it's really nice to be back once again. In the last classes, we were discussing about the society in Nagaland, okay, which is your 5th unit, okay. Even today, we will be discussing about the same unit, but some different topics, okay. We had discussed about some of the tribes in Nagaland, okay, in detail, and let's discuss a little bit about the economic system. What is the economic system of the Nagas here? And like I've mentioned in the previous classes, agriculture is one of the backbone of the occupation of the Nagas. That is what we have discussed. And we have also came across that most of the Nagas, they follow some types of agriculture, practice of agriculture, which is the shifting cultivation and also the terrace cultivation. And like I have mentioned in the previous classes, today we are going to discuss about the shifting cultivation, okay. But before we go further, okay, let's discuss a little bit about the population and how many of them are engaged in how many of them are engaged in those sectors and all the stuff, okay. Now, the total population of Nagaland is 19 lakh, okay, 90,036, okay. So, those are the figures which according to 2001 census, okay, 2001 census. In your textbook, it's page number 64 under point 5.2, okay, economy, shifting and terrace cultivation. It's given in your textbook. So even today, as I discuss with you, okay, I would kindly request you to open your textbook, okay, and underline the important points. The first point that I would like you to underline is the total population of Nagaland, okay, in the year 2001 census was 19,90,036, okay. Now, from out of this population, okay, 42.60, okay, 42.60%, were practicing agriculture, which is around 8,47,796 persons were practicing agriculture. Now, the total workers, and if we divide these workers, there are two groups that we can find according to your textbook, which is given in there. Now, the total workers were divided into two groups. The first one were the cultivators, the second were the agricultural laborers, okay. Cultivators and the agricultural laborers. Now, these cultivators were around 5 lakhs, okay, 48,845, okay, 845, which is around 64.74%, okay. So, those were the farmers, okay, who were cultivating in their own land or the land which belongs to the community, okay, the villages. So, cultivators were around 5 lakhs 48,847, okay, which is around 64.74%, okay. The next is the agricultural laborers who were working on the land of the other people. They were around 30,907, okay, which is around just 3.65 percentage, okay. Now, this particular terms, those figures are it's given or it's mentioned in your page number 64. Now, when we look into the agricultural practices in Nagaland, okay, it is said that we can find two types of agriculture which has been practiced, okay, in order to do farming, which is the shifting cultivation, and the next one is terrace cultivation, okay. Terrace shifting cultivation is one of the dominant form of practices which we find in Nagaland, form of agriculture in Nagaland, okay. The chief form of settled cultivation in the hilly area is terrace, okay. According to the one estimate, around 36% of the land in Nagaland is used for shifting cultivation. See, 36%, which is there in your page number 65, the first line, okay. 36% of the land in Nagaland is used for shifting cultivation. Now, here, the next one is, only 3.5% is, land is used for settled cultivation, okay. So, among the settled cultivation, terrace cultivation is the most favored one. But when we look into the overall, practice of occupation, agriculture, we can see that shifting cultivation is the most preferred among the Nagas. It's mostly because of the geographical and also the customs and culture which is attached to it. And those are some of the reasons to why shifting cultivation is practiced among the people here in Nagaland. Okay. Now, the next point, shifting cultivation. It is an agricultural practice, which is found in the hilly and mountainous areas. Now, when we look into the in a general way, okay, general view, we can see that this particular shifting cultivation is found mostly in the hilly and also in the mountainous areas. That is what it means here. It is the practice of shifting from one plot to another plot. That is the reason why it is called as shifting cultivation. I repeat again, it is the shifting. Means you are doing agriculture or you are growing rice, okay, in a particular field. Now what happens is that after cultivating there for maybe 2-3 times, you shift the farmland, okay, to some other land, okay. This is the reason why the name is also shifting cultivation. For example, you are cultivating here, some may just cultivate for 1 year, some might go for 2 years, some even 3 years. Okay, so in that way, it may vary. Okay, and after that, they just leave this land like this, and then they will start, they will start the cultivation in a new land. And the same way, they will cultivate for around 1 to 3 years, and after that again, they will shift one after the other. And that is the reason why it is also called as the shifting cultivation. Now, shifting cultivation is known by different names here. Okay, it is also called as slash and burn cultivation. Slash and burn cultivation because it implies the clearing of vegetation in the plot and selected by cutting down trees and other vegetations. Now, what they do is that in this slash and burning, okay, slash and burning, that is what they call. Okay, why do they call this slash and burning? Is because this particular plot of land, if it has trees, plants. Now what happens is that they slash down, they clear the forest, okay, and they will select some certain months. Okay, they will just leave the trees and plants in order to dry up, and during the dry seasons, they will burn the forest. Okay, and after that they will start to cultivate. So first they will slash the forest, okay, and after drying up, the plants and trees, what happens is that they will go for burning that particular area which they have cleared, okay, and then they would practice the agriculture. That is the reason why it is also called as slash and burning, okay, cultivation here. Now, another term which is being used for this farming, okay, is jhum cultivation, and it is mostly, okay, in Northeast India, it is known as jhuming or jhum cultivation. And this type of agriculture is being practiced when, they also use traditional tools, okay. They use all those traditional tools, not those highly sophisticated, machines is not used when they do this, shifting cultivation. They use traditional tools, okay. So there are 3 names which I have mentioned here: shifting cultivation, slash and burning, okay, and the next is jhum cultivation, J-H-U-M, jhum cultivation. I repeat again, J-H-U-M, jhum cultivation or jhuming, okay, J-H-U-M-I-N-G, jhuming, okay. Now, it says that, okay, shifting cultivation is a very important art of doing agriculture, okay, because it supports a large number of persons in Nagaland, okay. Here it says that it estimates around 75% of the cultivated land is under shifting cultivation. It's given in your page number 65, your 3rd paragraph, okay. 3rd paragraph, last line, 75% of the cultivated land is under shifting cultivation. That is what it means here. Now, what are the sequence? What are the ways, in order to practice this shifting cultivation? What are the steps which is followed in order to practice this shifting cultivation? The first is the selection of a site, that this particular plot of land should be selected here, okay? And the land is also divided by the village chief and the councils, the members, okay? The members of the village will, select a site where they will divide it among different groups, okay? Usually it is done, among the Nagas here. Now, the first is the selection of the site, the second is clearing the site, like I said, slashing, the clearing the site means clearing the forest, okay? Now, the second is, after clearing it, they will dry that particular vegetation which has been cleared, okay, the forest and everything, and you will just let it dry for a certain period of time, and then, they will burn the vegetation, okay? And thus, the next step will be, okay, the fourth step will be, you will start preparing that particular plot for, for agriculture, okay, for producing the food, okay, the food grains and everything, okay. Now, the next step is tripling or making small holes, in the soil for the seeds. Yes, you will clear the field after burning, they will clear the field, and, they will make the soil in such a way that, they will start the cultivation, and they will make holes on the earth, in the earth, so that, okay, the seeds will be sown, okay. Now, sowing the seeds after the onset of the monsoon or the rain. So, after the rain comes, okay, the monsoon season starts, okay, they will start to do all the sowing and everything, okay. And what happens is that, they will clear the field, weeding, that is what we call, okay, the seventh step, weeding, okay, W-E-E-D-I-N-G, they will take away all the grasses, unwanted ones and everything, okay, they will keep on clearing. And the last is the harvesting and storing, okay, of the produce, okay. So, the last step is that, after everything is done, after the crops and everything is ripened, okay, what happens is that you will start harvesting, okay. And after the harvest, okay, they would keep or they will store their product, okay, which means the rice or even all the vegetables which they have cultivated in a place, okay. Some, they even practice, building a small hut nearby the farm or in the farmland, okay, in the land fields, okay, and you would store the food grains in those particular huts, okay. So, in that way, the shifting cultivation is practiced, in that particular manner. All these 8 steps which I have discussed just now is given in your page number 65 here, okay. Now, why do they practice those agriculture? It is the basic aim of agriculture is to fulfill their basic needs, okay. Their basic needs, which is their demand for food. That is what it means here. Now, food grains like rice, maize, millets, okay, vegetables and other edible leaves, okay, or even plants are also planted by the people. Now, some of them, okay, they would also plant, plant some of the leaves, in order to feed their pigs or even their livestock, okay, that is what they do, okay. So, the agriculture is being practiced not just for the humans, but also for the animals which they tame at home, okay, which they domesticate at home, that is what it means here. So, it's for multiple purpose, that is what we can see, okay. Now, some of them, they would also practice mixed cropping, okay, like in this particular plot of land, the land will be divided, okay, where, one land will be for the millet, one will be for, rice, one will be for corn, maize, right. So, in that way, they do some mixed agriculture as well, that is mixed cropping as well, that is what we can see. Now, here, it says that, the Nagas, they prefer most of this kind of agriculture, shifting agriculture, and this shifting cultivation is also culturally attached to them. And that is the reason why once they clear the forest and they start sowing their seeds, okay, they have some festivals which is attached to their agriculture, right? And this is the reason why, okay, this is the reason why we cannot deny that, this shifting cultivation is just an occupation, just an ordinary occupation for them. No, it's not like that. They have so much of, attachment with the land. And this is the reason why there are some festivals, right? In order to please their God, in order to ask for rain, right? They used to celebrate so that there will be prosperous, harvesting at the end, right? Even after having a, good harvest, they would also thank their God, right? So it shows that, this Nagas, okay, the Nagas, we are generous people and we know how to thank our God. So in that way, it shows that, it is not just an occupation, it is not just an economic occupation, but culturally, it is also somewhat, attached to them. Custom and traditions are also attached to this, okay? So now, like I've mentioned, who has the upper authority in order to divide the land, in order to do farming? Like I've mentioned, the community, okay? In some land, the community owns the land, okay? Communal ownership, that is what we can say, okay? In this type of land, okay, the plots for June cultivation are generally assigned to a household by the clan or the village, okay? By the clan or a village, the leaders or elders may get the best plot. So now the leaders, who are the village headmen or the village chief or even those village elders, like if they are dividing it among the people, sometimes you get the best portion of the land, okay? Where they would practice the shifting cultivation, okay? Now, in some tribes, a household may get the same plot in the June cycle, but in other tribes, such continuity is not observed, okay? Means, among some tribals, okay, they would cultivate, in the same plot of land, like the village council, while they divide the land, okay, the same plot of land where they cultivated some previous years, okay, or the last year, okay, you will get the same land, okay. But among the Nagas, okay, most of them, they don't do the same, they don't cultivate in the same land, for the coming years, okay. They will just leave the land as it is, so that it will get back its fertility for some period of time. So that is the reason why they practice all those things. Now, in case communal ownership or at least communal management of land is a basic feature. So in order to regain the fertility of the soil, okay, the community abandon this small plot of land or the plot of land which has been cultivated previously for some few years. Now, here, there is also religious linking, like I've mentioned, okay. The calendar of various agricultural activities in shifting cultivation is closely linked to religious beliefs and practices. In a special way, religious festivals are linked to the different stages of agricultural cycle, like I've mentioned, like agricultural cycle, the sowing period, you think, you ask God for for rain and also for good harvest for that particular year. And after they finish working, some of the tribals would also celebrate some festivals, asking God for, thanking God for for looking forward for good harvest. And also after the harvesting period, you will also thank God, right? So that way, they have some religious attachment to it. That is what it means here, okay? Now, some of the, from what has been said in the above, okay, shifting cultivation is more than a type of agricultural practice for raising food and cash crops. It's not just like, you get money, or you do the shifting cultivation for money or all the stuffs, okay? But there is community attachment to their agriculture and also to the land. That is what it means here. Now, here, they say that the shifting cultivation is an agricultural practices that evolved in response to physiological character of the land, So, it is because of the feature itself, the feature of the land, the lands are so, slopey or it's mostly hilly and mountainous that some of them they have to practice this shifting cultivation based on its location, okay? And some of the scholars would say that, it's ecologically not very good. It's having a bad impact to the ecology and all those, it also leads to ecological degradation. That is what it means here. Why? Because we have to slash a, huge amount of trees when we do this shifting cultivation, right? So let's discuss about this argument, okay, in the coming class, okay? So with that, I would like to conclude our classes for today. Thank you so much.